Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 64 of Guess the Trade. But first, let's talk about episode 63, where we looked at Andrew Kletke's Vito Pro Pack SBLD. Lots of great tools that he shared with us inside of there. It was a really good loadout. Well, what was it that he did with those tools? Well, Lockhammer guessed down below that video. He said access control, or definitely access control. And Andrew replied back to him, "You are right on." He said he was the system admin of infrastructure for the parks department and basically worked at different parks, different building sites for the county that he worked at. And that basically he did networking and also access control. So a lot of the guesses was either one or the other. Some of you said he probably did both of them. So again, really good guesses. I think everybody was kind of close in that way. I think his was one of those that all the tools kind of pointed in one direction. So good guessing. And again, Andrew, appreciate you sharing your loadout with us. Well, today in episode 64, we're going to look at Eddie Fisher. He has a camo TPXL bag that we're going to take a look at. Look at his tools, see if we've got questions for him, and then see if we can guess what it is that we think that he does with those tools. But let's go ahead and jump into Eddie's tools. So first picture outside of the bag. I haven't seen a lot of these camo bags in person. I've only seen them like on websites, maybe on Facebook or so. But he's got the TPXL. You can see that down there at the very bottom. I used to have this bag a long time ago. I didn't have the camo version, but I had like the regular, wasn't even a blackout, wasn't a thing yet. You know, it was just the standard Vito colors. So he's got the Stabila level there on the front. He's running an M12 on the side. We'll see if we see what that is. Also, small Klein screwdriver. Fastback. Looks like maybe a Lufkin tape measure over there on the left. Pika, Sharpie. I am interested in this Pika now that I see it. I've not seen a black one. I don't know if he made that or if he bought that. Here it is with that front flap open. He does pull these tools out. So again, this is just an idea of what the loadout looks like in a TPXL. If you're looking into this bag, looking for will my tools fit type thing. So there it is open. Next picture, this is the side view. So we're over here at the impact driver. It says the M12. I think that isn't just the impact driver. I don't think it is the surge. I don't see the little rubbery thing up there on the front. Klein non-contact voltage tester. Looks like he's running a Klein strap as well. So we'll go on to the next picture. So that was a Lufkin tape measure. Also running some black electrical tape. And again, a Milwaukee fastback. He's got a pair of pliers tucked into this side over here too. Next picture. So this is that flap that folds back. You've got that clear parts bin in it with that magnet. Also, he's got the Klein light right there. I know a lot of people carry that locally around me. A lot of people have that light just because it's easy to get at a box store type thing. And a lot of people really like it. So he's got that Klein light up there. Backside, this is where he's got a flap on the back. So this is the laptop sleeve, I guess is what you would actually call it as far as on the TPXL. He's got a Pittsburgh hammer, and then it looks like he's got some Allen keys in there, possibly Vera. We'll see here in just a minute. So here's a downward view look into the bag. So you can see those there. He's got some bit holders down in there. I want to say, I don't know if those are in the TPXL originally. I was thinking he was telling me that he made some bit holders in an email and he stitched them out of an old belt. So those might not be in the TPXL. Those might be something that he added to his bag and stitched it in. Because I can't remember. It's been such a long time since I've had the TPXL, but that doesn't look like the typical Vito holder. So he might have took a belt and made them himself. So again, here's just another look at the bag. We're going to see these tools, but just an up close look so you can see it kind of loaded out there. Next picture, here is all the tools, and he goes into quadrants on these. So just an overview. So if you're thinking about the TPXL, you can take a look at this picture right here, and this is all the tools that he has in his bag. So all these will fit in there. Again, you might not have the same exact tools, but it should give you at least something to go by to say, hey, well, my tools fit in this bag type thing. So we're going to go on and scroll up here on the top left, I think it is. So he's running the Klein CL120 clamp meter. Also has Klein the demo driver with the slotted. That's that new Klein with that different handle. I actually really like those handles for a demo driver. And then he's got a dedicated Phillips and a dedicated slotted. And then he's running the stubby, either the 8-in-1 or the 12-in-1, but he's got the flip socket shaft in it. That's actually turns it into kind of almost like a Klein ball handle. So I kind of like that feel right there. Also has a Crescent Lufkin torpedo level. And then also the small little Klein 4-in-1 thermostat screwdriver. a small flip socket down there. Let's see what these bits are. That might help you. So it looks like he's running a square and a Torx right there. Probably I can't tell if that's it's always hard for me to judge square 1 and square 2 from a picture for some reason. So that's those pictures. That's that quadrant right there. We'll go on to the next picture. So we'll start from the level over. We've got that crescent 25-foot tape measure. They were Vera hex keys, so he's got both of those. He's got SAE and metric. He's got that Klein light, the fastback, Klein non-contact voltage tester, and a Pittsburgh hammer. I want to say we're going to go ahead and go on. Yeah, we'll get to the pliers at the bottom. So he's got a knife right there in a Midwest, and I want to say in his email something about he made that as well, that sheath for it. He's also got a razor scraper. I just put out that video yesterday, or this week, not yesterday. It was yesterday as far as whenever I'm filming this, for the Klein flip blade, the 2-in-1 with the scraper on it. So I've got this kind of scraper, but that's why I like those knives. I don't like using this kind of scraper very often, only really if I'm shaving something off a glass or something like that. There's just not a lot for me to hold on to, but they are useful to have. But I prefer like the tough built or that Klein scraper just to have a decent sized handle whenever I'm using it. So he's got that there. He's also got a pair of tweezers right there. It's got a name on them. Let's see. Pakistan. Also a bit holder. Also a magnet. Several different little picks there. 180 Cobras. Probably my most used pair of pliers ever. Baco adjustable wrenches. Looks like he's got a 6-inch and an 8-inch. And then he's got the Klein glow-in-the-dark linemen and the strippers. Now, every time I do a blackout Klein video, there's always people who say, hey, I would lose those all the time. And I get that because, I mean, black handles in a dark space or out in the grass or whatever else, it's going to be harder to find them. And everybody always says Klein needs to bring back the glow-in-the-dark stuff or make more glow-in-the-dark stuff. So he's got the glow-in-the-dark there, so maybe they'll come out with some more of those. They are made in the USA. You can see that on the strippers right there. So here he also has a pair of needle nose that say China on them. That's all it says. I actually think I've got a whole entire set of those that somebody gave me that I can't remember what the brand name is on them, but I think I've got those. He's also got a service wrench up there, and then a couple small tubing cutters, and again, black electrical tape. We see a little bit of that more over here. So there's those rigid tubing cutters. So he's got a mix of a little bit of everything that I'm seeing so far. But here's what I'm really interested in because I really like this. So Eddie, I'm curious on this Pika that's black. Did you paint this? I've never seen a black Pika like this. So one is, if you bought it, where'd you get it? And then two is, did you paint it? Because if you painted it, you did a really good job. Like there's like nowhere on it where I would say, hey, that looks like it's been painted like by hand by somebody or something like that. So curious to know how you got the black Pika, whether you made it or whether you bought it. Also, he's got a Milwaukee ink saw, some little loose nails. So that's interesting. So nails, tubing cutters, service wrench, electrical tools, all sorts of things. Again, there's that small stability level. And then again, there is his Milwaukee M12 fuel impact. Let's see what the next picture brings us. So this is another bag. And I want to say that he said he did something to make this work onto his bag in the email. So this is like a pouch that he's sticking on there. And he's got basically Velcro on there. So if you go all the way back to this picture back here, you see this Velcro right here. I think he's sticking it straight to that. So he's made himself a pouch, and you can see those stitches. So he stitched some Velcro onto this bag so he could just stick it onto his bag. So this is essentially his parts bag. So pretty slick idea. Wire nuts, some more nails, also some kind of hose adapter, like a barbed fitting for some sort of a hose. Conduit lock nuts down there. Let's see, for almost got the end on it though to fit on NM cable. Bungee cord, it looks like. So several different things down there. Again, I'm seeing a multitude of stuff. And then there's his name. So there's his parts bag. So that's kind of the hardware that he's carrying. Sometimes that helps you more than anything. There's the back pouch on the bag. Here's cycling through his tools. I'm just going to get to that main picture. So there's all the tools that he's got in his bag that he carries in the TPXL. And then this is the bag loaded out. Backside, flap, side, other side, And then there's the front open, and then there's that last picture or the first picture with that bag closed. But that's Eddie Fisher's loadout of his Vito Pro Pack Camo TPXL. Lots of nice tools in there, a big variety of tools. You know, you've got tubing cutters, hammer, nails, glow-in-the-dark Klein lineman pliers, and strippers. Just a multitude of different tools, in my opinion, because I was leaning towards electrician when we first started looking at it. But I think I'm going to go general maintenance and things like that. Just kind of like me, in a sense. Does a whole lot of different things is what I'm going to say. I don't know that it's his is a very hard one to say. I believe he's only this, in my opinion. There's lots of variety of things in there, but maybe you can guess better than me. Make sure and comment down below what it is you think Eddie does with these tools. If you've got questions for him, make sure and ask them down below. More than anything, I am interested in that black Pica pencil. I'm assuming you probably made it yourself or painted it yourself, but if you did buy it somewhere, I'd like to know where you got it. As always, I hope this video was helpful in some way. Hope it was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you on the next video.